A very warm welcome to new and existing Foxy Games UK subscribers all over the world. Some of you have been with us since the very beginning. I appreciate everything. I could say something corny like, I do what I do because of you. Truth is, I do what I do because I love it. I love gaming. So thank you, stick around and enjoy the content. What is up, everybody? I'm Fox at Foxy Games UK, your regular aggregate source of news, rumour and video game discussion. Casual and core gamers interested in the latest game news and rumour, with an emphasis on PlayStation but spanning a variety of platforms. Follow me via Twitter at FoxyGames_UK. All relevant links can be found in this video's description. Now, there hasn't been anything newsworthy, at least from my perspective, nothing remotely interesting to warrant a video, and it's been a bit of a gift and a curse. A gift in that I've been able to socialise more with friends and take advantage of the scorching UK weather, but a curse in that I run a YouTube channel and I like uploading content. Well, thank Odor, there's at least some gaming news with substance today, courtesy of Rashid Saeed over at GamingBolt.com. PlayStation 5 will likely be backwards compatible with PS4 Pro, will possibly launch in 2019, and that's according to Wedbush Securities analyst Michael Pachter. So a couple of weeks ago, PlayStation America boss Sean Layden confirmed that they will be developing PlayStation 5, which will represent the next major step for the brand. This indicates that Sony will likely not release another mid-gen refresh for the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5 will be a generational leap over the current gen console. Now, speaking with Wedbush Securities analyst Michael Pachter, GamingBolt asked him about the successor to PS4 Pro, and Pachter believes that the PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4 Pro, which also means that it will be playing base PS4 games and will probably release in 2019. Here's a quote. I really like Sean. I don't think he's attempting to mislead anybody. The PlayStation 4 Pro is better from a technical perspective than the PS4, so I think that's a half step towards the PlayStation 5. I think PS5 will be another half step. So he is being honest when he said he's not doing a half step but the PlayStation 5. How much faster can it be? It will surely support 4K. Will it support 240 frames per second? Great. Will it play games that were made for the PlayStation 4 Pro? That's the question. I think it will. I think they will build a console that will be backwards compatible with the PS4 Pro. So I think it will be perceived by the consumers to be a half step, and I think Sean is telling the truth when he says it will be a fully fledged console. Now, Pachter also believes that the PS5 will launch in a market that is more receptive to 4K content than it is currently, giving Sony an edge. He went on to say, my expectation that it's not coming out in 2018. That is a 2019 or 2020 console, but probably 2019. Sony is probably timing it better because they are going to bring out a 4K capable device when the 4K TV market reaches 50% in the US and 35% in the rest of the world. I think Sony has probably got the next console cycle nailed down already. I think they are already in the know and they know what they're going to do. Pachter makes some tangible points here, and for the most part I can get behind what he's saying. I'll be reaching out to the same sources who worked with me during the codenamed PS4 Neo leaks, news and rumour, in the hope that I can get at least a little snippet of something PS5 related. Now, I can't promise anything since I haven't communicated with these sources since, probably December of last year, but I'll see what I can dig up regarding timeline and possible specs. In any case, PS4 and Pro are here now and already have a great lineup of games launching in 2018. Sony will very likely complete PS4's stunning library of games with The Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding at some point in 2019, leading us into the launch of the PS5 later that fiscal year, which ends March 31st, 2020. And in other news, Insomniac's Spider-Man PS4 fools Hollywood-centric entertainment magazine Variety into thinking the actual game footage was actually the movie. A super compliment to both developer Insomniac and the potential in the PS4 hardware. Here's the full story courtesy of WCCFtech.com. So the progress of real-time computer-generated graphics is getting the gaming industry ever closer to pre-rendered flicks. An often used example of this is how non-gamers mistake more and more the screenshots of a game for real life or even actual CGI. This is more common nowadays thanks to technologies like photogrammetry and a technique which is used to create photorealistic environments in games like Star Wars Battlefront, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and many others. This time around, renowned entertainment magazine Variety mistakenly used the screenshot of Insomniac's Spider-Man 4 game in their review of Spider-Man Homecoming, the movie starring Tom Holland as the titular superhero created by Marvel. The image has since been removed, likely after someone pointed that out to the editorial staff, but nothing ever gets wiped off the web, and I mean absolutely nothing. So it's still out there if you look hard enough. And now onto a totally unconnected subject. PlayStation 4 games have now been added to PlayStation Now, with the total game library exceeding 500 titles, courtesy of Brian Dunn, Senior Marketing Manager over at PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now library now includes PS4 games, and the lineup is just the start. Sony will be adding more PlayStation 4 games in the coming months, alongside the regular monthly content drops. On top of that, PlayStation Now's library has now ticked over to 500 games. Very impressive. That's a massive range of games to really explore and play, all with one subscription, the push of a button, play on your PS4 or Windows PC. Now, with PlayStation exclusives like Killzone Shadowfall and The Last of Us, hit blockbusters such as Red Dead Redemption and Batman Arkham City, indie games like Journey and Broken Age, and many more, the PlayStation Now library really has something for everyone. And by popular demand, Sony are bringing back the $9.99 intro offer for the first month for new subscribers only, and the 1-year subscription for $99.99. That's less than $9 a month for a full year of on-demand access to an ever-expanding library of PS4 and PlayStation 3 games to stream anytime you want. You can start streaming today because the offer is only available until September 22nd. There's a full list of all the new PS4 games available on the PlayStation blog, covering all genres from first-person shooters, action-adventures, fighting, racing and more. Now, a lot of people were concerned that PS4 exclusives would be going over to this streaming service, making owning a PS4 pretty much redundant, but fear not, because they're very, very old titles. I mean, Killzone Shadowfall was a launch title back in 2013, you know, pushing 4 years now. Now, God of War 3 Remastered, again, was a PS3 game. The likes of Saints Row 4 re-elected, WWE 2K16, Tropico 5, Ultra Street Fighter 4, you know, Darksiders 2, Definitive Edition, Helldivers, games like that. I mean, nothing current. So, you know, Sony has around 100 publishers on the service, with plenty more great PS4 and PS3 content coming this year. But you can bet your bottom dollar a lot of the games are going to be much older than a year and a half to 2 years, because Sony are not about to make owning a PS4 or a PS4 Pro redundant. That would be suicide. Now, you can stream the games via PlayStation Now, and it allows you to access other cool PlayStation features. You can unlock both PS3 and PS4 trophies, send and receive multiplayer invites. PlayStation Plus not required for online multiplayer with PlayStation Now, and your gameplay status updates will be seen by your friends on their friends list. You can also copy your PS4 saves back and forth between PlayStation Plus cloud storage. PlayStation Plus subscription is required for that, and the PlayStation Now cloud save storage will allow you to do that. That way you can continue your game where you left off, no matter what device you're using. So if you want to try before you buy, there's a 7-day free trial on PlayStation 4 and Windows PC. In order to take advantage of the $9.99 intro offer, you will need to purchase that directly, as the 7-day trial will transition into the standard monthly subscription. So here's my opinion on all of this, all of these game streaming services, download services. Now, I suppose PlayStation Now's nearest competitor is Xbox Game Pass, but with Xbox Game Pass, not a whole lot of publishers are fully on board. Nowhere near the 100 publishers Sony has committed to the PlayStation Now service, though Game Pass only recently launched, so it's going to take some time. Now, worries about PS4 exclusives going to PlayStation Now, but I don't see the concern. These are old titles that in no way diminish the value in purchasing an actual PS4 Pro hardware. Not to mention, all games are subject to variable streaming issues depending on your internet service provider, and all are locked at 30 frames per second, even on PC, no matter the power of the gaming rig. I recall somebody asking me weeks ago, which is the better service and value proposition, Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Now? Well, Xbox Game Pass allows gamers to download the entire game directly to the hard drive. No streaming quality issues there, nothing dependent on your internet service provider, and that gives it a slight edge over PlayStation Now in my humble opinion, particularly for those with dodgy internet connections. However, one could argue that PlayStation Now subjectively has the better game offerings and a lot more of them. Sony could in theory allow downloads of PS4 titles later down the road, but due to its totally different architecture, PlayStation 3 titles will remain stream only. So in the end, to answer the question, I guess it comes down to consumer choice, and I think choice is the key word here. And that brings us to the end of another video. As usual, if you found any of the information in this video at all useful, go ahead, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and share the video. You can also help us grow by supporting us via Patreon, starting from just $1. You'll find the link in this video's description. And remember to join us for the Gamer Couch podcast, airing live every Sunday, 12 PM PT, 3 PM ET, and 8 PM BST. At this point, have a great weekend, everybody, and always remember, play games, not corporations.